how would you recognize a person who is depressed? Do you have any idea?
You cannot have control over your emotions.
He looks upset. Everyone thinks that it's something to do with our marriage and husband or maybe boyfriend. I used to talk to plants. Do you believe that? She hasn't grieved enough when her father passed away.
Mandy, do you think the church truly understands the gravity of the situation?
Most importantly, these people are full of faith and they have the right answer.
The topic of the day is behind the smile. Blessed day to you all. Welcome to another episode of Trends and Truth. Today is a very different episode where we talk about a topic that is not usually spoken about, especially I believe in the church context. It's a topic that seems to be slightly hidden behind the shadows. A difficult subject to talk about, but today with me is a woman of great courage with a great testimony, a woman who has overcome so much with her life, who is willing to be transparent in our midst and talk about how challenging her life has been and how empowering she has made it through all that she has done. Welcome to you, Mandy.
Thank you for having me, Manju.
It's such a pleasure to have you with us today. Today, Mandy, the topic of the day is behind the smile. See, many of us have a great big smile on our face. Many of us know how to smile and act like everything is okay. But there is a lot of hurt, lot of pain, lot of truth behind our story that sometimes no one else knows about. Mandy is a woman who's gone through all of that and more. She's overcome so much, and today she has chosen to be here and share her testimony, her great story, and her great insight with all of us. Mandy, is mental health a real thing?
Wow, good question, Manju. Yes, like right now we are going through a pandemic situation. So I think mental health problem is this situation is worse than COVID-19. It is because like 4.4% of population is suffering with depression, and from that, like to be exact, it's like 274 million people suffering, right? And countries like us who have like low to middle income countries, you know, people like even though there is like very efficient treatments available for mental disorders, 75 to 85% is not getting any treatment because they don't identify that they have this problem. So that's the worst thing ever. Like imagine now if I start coughing now, what did you do? Right? If I say, Manju, I have a problem in breathing and I start coughing, what did you do? You first thing you stay away from me and then protect yourself, and then you will call some helpline. Government has given us all the information. Media has been like doing their great work, raising awareness about COVID-19. So we know the symptoms, we know how to identify, we know what to do next. But when it comes to mental disorders, if I ask Manju, how would you recognize a person who is depressed? Do you have any idea? No, we are not aware. We don't know what they're going through. And especially when you express yourself, like for example, I was suffering with depression and I feel sad for no reason. And when I say sad, if I tell my boyfriend, okay, he's my husband now, if I tell him that, okay, I'm sad, then he will ask why you are sad. Then obviously I have to come with a answer, right? Then so he can do something for it. But if I say I don't have answer, I don't know why I'm sad, it's like I'm nagging, and so to express myself, I feel like I can't tell him that I'm sad, and because he will think I'm crazy, why I'm sad. There's no answer for that, and then I'm afraid of rejection. Like then he will obviously think that, oh, okay, this she is crazy, she is sad for no reason. So this is the problem. Like we don't express ourselves, like when we are going through mental health issues, because of the society, how they take it. We are afraid of that, so we don't express ourselves. We keep all the emotions bottled up, and then it's there, and then with the time, you go into the deep hole, right? So there is no cure afterwards, because you are going to the place where there's no return, right? And nearly 800,000 people die every year because of uh, mental health issues. They commit suicide. 800,000 people. These are lives that can be anything. Like these are people who could be great singers, great leaders, and you know they are our sisters and brothers, but we don't do anything, and we don't recognize this. We don't see it as a problem. We know COVID is a problem. We do everything to prevent it, but what we do for this? So it's a real problem.
Wow. And like you said, Mandy, I think it's something that we as people don't seem to recognize. We don't seem to notice. And sometimes when actually a person says they are sad, we really don't know what kind of response we're supposed to give them, or whether our advice is actually helpful or not. I know that depression pushes you, Mandy, to a point that you cannot have control over your emotions. How far does it really push you?
Well, it can push you like to the ends of it. Like because of depression, anxiety, there is so many like mental health issues. These are the things that people commit suicide. So like they can become anyone, anything, right? But they decide not to. When it comes to like when you're really stressed and when you're really sad, upset, or depressed, what do you choose? What you want to end that pain? It's a painful scenario, right? So you just want to end the pain, right? But you think only option is ending the life, which is not an option.
Which is not an option. We hope you heard that. It is not an option. We are here to help. We're here to understand. We're here to stand with you. We're here to love you. Mandy, is there a certain group that is affected by depression or mental health issues? Or is it the same for all? Is it a certain gender that is affected by it? Can you just explain this to us a little bit more?
Not really. Like from the moment you step into this world, uh, not when you are an infant, obviously, like when you don't understand anything, but ever since, like when you interact with the society and when you go out to the world, like even kids nowadays, like at school, they get bullied and calling names, these kind of things, like small things that can lead into depression, and sometimes I know a friend of mine who has a girl daughter. She's in fourth grade and she's suffering with depression. So grade 4 means like only 9-year-old child. What she knows, she doesn't know anything. But there is something happened to her to make her mental health questionable. So there is no age group, there is no gender, there is no certain textbook reasons that I can say this is how you get depression. Like it can be anything. Like for example, when I was getting my treatment, I met this girl. She's 24 years old, and she was having sessions like getting a very good professor to talk to, and they get therapy. So she was talking to me like when she was like 14 years old, her father passed away, and then after like now she's 24 years old. About like when she was 20 years old, she had she was diagnosed as a person who is going through depression, severe depression. There was like she tried to kill herself. She tried pills and cut herself, and she did so many things. First when she was like acting weird, that's what we call, right? So acting weird and cry for no reason. What her mom was so like her mom thought that she must be having an affair with a boyfriend or someone like with a guy, and maybe she's having some relationship issues. So that's why she's acting like this. Normally that is what we do. We assume things, right? And then they try to find out whether what is going on, whether she's having an affair or. But there's nothing like that. So then they thought maybe she's addicted to some kind of a drug, and because she's not getting the drug, she's acting like this. This is how we all do, right? This is how we all do. If we see someone upset, we think, oh, though they post like happy pictures on Facebook, but maybe deep inside they are not happy with their marriage, or maybe her husband doesn't treat her well. We judge people, we assume things. But actually, when she got the treatment, the doctors found out she hasn't grieved enough for when her father passed away. That's the main thing, right? It's like she what she said was she was upset, she was sad. It's not like she don't miss her dad, but maybe the age and the hormones, she don't wanted to show it. So she was keeping it inside, and that made her life uh, like this. Like, I mean, she's depressed and she's everything. Like, she dropped out her school, her education, her career, everything. It's all a mess. But the real reason is she hasn't grieved enough when her father passed away. So it can be anything. Mental health issues like depression, it's not one reason, or it's not a tragic situation that changed you at once. It's a journey. It's a thing that happens gradually. It's what you experience, maybe a little word from somebody mocking. It's not always, I'm telling this to everyone, right? Because always if we feel sad, if we look upset, everyone thinks that it's something to do with our marriage and husband or maybe boyfriend. It's not that, right? Can be anything, and it's a process. It's a long time process where you go into this situation. It's not one thing. It's every day what we talk, every day what we face, and even coming out of it is not easy. It's not just like there's a switch that you can switch it off. These thoughts, it comes naturally. You don't know when it hits you. You never know. You never know why you feel the way you feel, and you don't. The worst thing is you don't know how to explain it. You are so helpless when you can't explain why you feel what you feel. And on top of that, once you express, like when you express yourself very genuinely, and if you be very true to yourself and you express, definitely you're going to get judged.
Wow, that's really deep, Mandy. When you think of the fact that even you personally felt like if you expressed, you would feel judged, you will be judged. And our common assumption whenever we hear that someone has hurt themselves, committed suicide, done something to themselves, our common assumption would be, What if we were just there? Maybe we could have helped, maybe we could have talked, counseled. But we understand it's far deeper than something in the surface from what you're saying. Mandy, do you think the church truly understands the gravity of the situation?
Well, it's like this, Manju. In my personal experience, I depend on earthly things when I was facing this problem. So I'm talking about my own experience, right? So I tried many things. When I felt sad and upset, and maybe sometimes I'm crying, and I don't know why I'm crying. And I used to talk to plants. Do you believe that? I really talk to plants. And even I try to talk to people around me and uh, get a solution. Like, when you talk out things, you feel better, right? But if you keep on talking to someone every day that about your emotions, and then it's not a happy talk, right? It's you're talking about why you sad, why you depressed, and all these kind of things, right? So the one who is listening to you gets fed up at some point. It's not like you like you're having a happy chat when watching a movie. It's not like that. Always listen to someone's agony make you fed up with life. Even that person's life gets miserable because listening to this nagging every 5 minutes, right? So I tried many things, and even I feel afraid. I feel like maybe if I keep on telling this, they will reject me, right? They won't listen to me anymore, and my friends will not come to visit me because if when they come, I only talk about my problems and my situation. So I keep it for myself then. So this is what happened. So, but ever since I found Jesus and I came to know God, I had a friend who I can talk to any minute, right? So even 3 o'clock in the morning, I have problem in sleeping. Even right now, I have it. Like at 3 o'clock in the morning, I can talk to God. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, evening, whenever you want, you can talk to God. There is no time limit, and He never say that I'm busy, right? He's always ready to listen. He's always there to listen, and He's always there to help. And He's always like He's the best counselor anyone can ever have, right? So, and I'm so glad and I'm so blessed to be a part of a church like this. So, ever since I connected with the church, we have different networks, groups, classes, and where we have this platform to share our thoughts, how we did last week, what we did, and open up ourselves, emotions, and talk about situation what we are going through and how we overcome those things. So if you are going through something, a problem, if maybe I have gone through it before, so I can share my experience and you know how to face it, right? So we have this platform, we have these networks, we have these groups, we have people to talk to, and most importantly, these people are full of faith. And they have the right answer at the right time. And when you go and talk to a person about your problems, but what if that person have a very negative way of thinking? They will give you a solution where your problem will be worse. They will give you a solution where you can end up in a trouble. But when you go to a person who is filled with faith and who is filled with godly things, they will always give you a positive answer, right? Then you are in the right path. They will lead you to the right path. Sometimes depression and this kind of mental health issues, you can't just talk things out because you need clinical attention, you need medical attention. So in that case, like imagine if you're going and talking to a leader of your church, or maybe a person who is higher than you, who's have more wisdom than you. So they will tell you like, okay, you can talk to God, you can use the scriptures, you can talk to people, but also why don't you go and have yourself checked out, right? So, like that, church really helped me. I'm blessed to be a part of this church. Really, it helped us, like, gave us this platform. I think every church in Sri Lanka or all over the world, that is the motive of a church, to help people. Yeah, to give lend a hand and support them physically, spiritually, mentally, everywhere, every way they can. So I think, in my personal opinion, yeah, it helps.
Amen. We're so glad to hear you say this, Mandy, that Bethany Church has been a support system to you and has given you the right advice and guidance in order to overcome all of these challenges and just to draw close to God, I believe, more than anything else, where we draw our strength from. And just in closing, Mandy, just a simple quick question from you. What can you tell our viewers today who are struggling with this kind of emotion right now in this moment? There may be someone watching who's finding it so difficult and who, just like you said, feels like no one understands. That no matter how much they express themselves, nobody really hears them. Amen. They're hiding behind that smile. And for that woman, that man, that young child who's watching out there, who's saying, I need help, what can we as Bethany Church offer to them? How can we support them? And how can we stand by them?
Only thing I have to say is, reach out. There is help. There are people who understand you. There are people who won't judge you. Of course, you will find people who judge you, who will knock you down. But look around, there are people who can help you. If you keep it for yourself, you will never going to sort it out for yourself. Like, you can get the most worst decision in life when you are full with emotions, and when you are down, and when you are depressed, when you are stressed. You can't take a right decision. First thing, talk to someone. If you have the patience to look around, there are people who are really willing to listen to you and not to judge you. So, about Bethany Church, we are always there, and that's what our senior pastor always says. Reach out, give us a call, we love you, we are always there for you. That's what he always says. And like that, COVID-19 situation, when we were in lockdown, it was the worst time for the people who are going through mental disorders, because, like, you feel more lonely when you are locked up and all. But we, as a church, we had our Zoom meetings, we had our classes, we had our network meetings, we reached out to each other, and we helped each other, and we had every day a devotional message from our senior pastor, which helped us to have a very effective day. Every day, to spend every day with a purpose, and look at the day in a positive way. So like that, we can help you out. And this is not something that you can sort yourself. This is something you have to talk to someone, and you need help. And there are people who can help you. Only thing I'm telling you is, don't make any decision. Just reach out.
Thank you, Mandy, for that very insightful answer, for all the honesty that you shared with us today. We truly appreciate it. I hope that today's segment has encouraged you to look beyond a person's smile. Look beyond what they just show you. Let's take the time to sit with people, to talk to people, to understand people, to support and love people as Christ has asked us to do. And if you are out there needing help today, if you're feeling alone or disappointed, we want you to know that Bethany is here with you. We truly do care. We truly do want to help, because God has helped us and He's made a difference in our life. We choose to share the same love with you. So feel free to call us, drop us a message at any time. There are many pastors and leaders available to support you and to stand by you. We love you and we hope to see you next Wednesday. God bless you all.